Yeah, we're doing the mic thing. So. All right.
Before I talk about the game, I'd like to say our prayers go out to their quarterback. I mentioned that to the coach. He went down. I don't know what the injury was, but anytime you see an injured player, they feel like that. It's always a concern. Football's a tough game. And you see a guy like that, and really their guy go down, you realize this is a tough game. And hopefully will heal quickly. I thought our home crowd for homecoming game was really good, especially on third down. They did a nice job of really getting involved in the game for us. I thought offensively we did some things, keeping the ball for 36 minutes, running the ball 50 times. That was good, very good, against a really good defense. Defensively, I thought the second half we adjusted very well. The players adjusted. You got to give credit to the coaches and the players on that. And we really did a nice job keeping them out of the end zone. And then taking the ball away was big for us. And that's the kind of defense we'd like to become, take the ball away. We were able to do that. So it's a great win for the players, for the coaching staff. I'm very happy for them. Questions?
Sure. Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
What was the message going into the game that got the team up for number 16 team in the country?
Well, I didn't. The message didn't have to be that alarming. You're talking about a team that has won 4 in a row, and they were tough physical. I told them this was the Michigan State thing, visited all over, and they're a good football team. And I said, the guy that doesn't blink is going to win, because we're going to be in a fight, and we just can't blink. And then I told them this. I said, you know, the third quarter has been kind of our quarter. We've struggled a little bit. It was fun to see us do something in the third quarter. I thought that brought energy to our football team finally. You know, and then the hole in the 3, that was big. You know, now obviously the quarterback goes down, and so they're a different offense. But still, they can run the football, and they've won 4 in a row. I mean, they were averaging 40 points a game last month of football. So it was fun to win another home game. Last time we played here, we didn't win a home game. So all those things are positive for us.
Herm, big players step up in big games. N'Keal Harry obviously has done that recently. Is that by design, or was it just more of what you were getting out there?
The design is very simple. Can 3 touch the ball and can 1 touch the ball? How many times do they get to touch it? That's the design in any offense. You get your good players the ball. And I always said this, when you have the ability to run plays, your offense gets involved. And that was good to see. We ran the ball. And we threw it. We didn't throw it a lot, but we made it count. And N'Keal is, a fabulous player. I mean, he has 2 back-to-back games now where, without his presence, I mean, it hurts you. His ability to make the big play with the ball in his hand. Brandon Ayuk played well. JC kid, he's kind of growing up all of a sudden. So we've got some guys over there offensively, and if we can just stay on the field long enough, we can get a bunch of guys involved. Floyd ran the ball fairly well as well, so that's good. Some of these guys are growing up. JC guys are kind of like high school players. They come out of JC and have to get used to this level of play. Can't say enough about our freshman guys. Rashard got an interception finally.
Yes, is that it? Is it just opportunity with N'Keal then? Just these last
few weeks? It's just opportunity, and I think moving him inside the slot has helped. We did that last week. I was really big on trying to move him inside to get some matchups, and we've been able to do it, and he's been playing well. It's good.
Coach, what's the first thing that goes to your mind when you see N'Keal just reverse field like that all of a sudden?
Well, here he goes again. But that's what he does. He does it with punts. He does it with those bubble screens, and he has a knack of doing it. And so, I mean, when he caught it, I was there. He's going. I don't. I mean, you don't get a lot out of me watching a football game. If you're watching me on the sideline, it's kind of, I'm flatlining everything. So when he does that, I go, there he goes. And I just say, okay, just keep running. And all I worry about is nobody clipping. Because, and I think our players realize that too now, that when he reverses, they do a good, just think about that. No clips on that play. No clips on was it the UTA game that he did that? No clips on the punt return that he ran on the one in the end zone and kept going. But that's what he does. So keep doing it. We'll be okay.
Coach, after the Stanford loss, could you foresee something like what's happened the last 2 weeks happening where you guys bounce back like that and put yourself in position to?
Well, I've never gone into a contest that I didn't feel like we were prepared to win, if you're asking me that question. I mean, if that's the case, why coach? I mean, why be involved in this? I mean, I've never walked into any game at any level of not feeling you have an opportunity to win. And so that's just my belief as a coach. I go in the game, we prepare the players, and say we're going to have an opportunity to win. And I think in most of our games, I would say, if you've watched us play, we've had opportunities to win. Sometimes we don't. We won one, and we didn't win. It wasn't a blowout fashion. It was kind of tight game, and then in the third quarter, I think the third quarter was important for us. It really was. It was good to see us compete in the third quarter.
Coach,
I'm sorry, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Earlier this week, you were mentioning about the differences in coaching in college, and our teams and players emotionally ready. So what did you see from your team this week to put them in this position? Were they emotionally ready?
Well, I worked on that all week. I'm kind of learning my team, and I think they're learning their head coach too. So I got them. I'm starting to figure them out. A lot of them to figure out, but there's a lot that goes on between now and the game, you know, with coaching. It's not just the X's and O's. It's a lot of other things you got to do. You got to manage young people, and they have a lot on their plate. They're young, and we've all been there, and they got to stay focused on the job at hand. And I think they did that again this week, and it turned out good for us.
Coach, you gave up the 21 points in a row last week.
Yeah.
Danny talked this week about stepping on them when they're down, and you did that today. Probably like no other game this
Yeah.
year. What was it about this game where your guys did that?
Well, came in at half, and I said, okay, we talked about this, and we did. We talked about it all week. I said, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be close. And I said it was close against Michigan State. I asked them to score, and they actually knew what the score was. And I said, okay. I said, we're in the game. Let's just keep playing. And we needed to play good in the third quarter. We just needed to do that, and I think our home crowd helped us. We're at home, and then we got going again. You know, offense found its way to make a couple big plays, and then you find yourself in a lead, and then it's just bad managing the clock for us, because midway through the third quarter and going into the fourth quarter, it was all about now letting the clock run down to 5 seconds, 4 seconds to take time off the clock before we snap the ball, and the players understood that. When we had an 8-point lead, I said, okay, now we go into the mode of we want to make first downs. I like to score a touchdown, but we play the clock now. We don't play the opponent anymore, and all the players understood that.
Coach, did the 1970 Peach Bowl team have a message for your team before this?
Well, I went over there, so they didn't actually see the team. It's kind of funny. They wanted me to take a picture with them, and I said, I'm not worthy, guys. To take a picture with you guys. I said, you actually set ASU on the map as far as I'm concerned, because I was a high school kid when you guys played that game and getting recruited here. And I remember watching that game, and I said, I watched you guys. And I said, that was one of the deals that you really kind of, when that happened, all of a sudden ASU became, what are these guys doing in the desert? Who was this Coach Cush fella? You know, and to their credit, they went on a long run, a lot of bowl games after that, if I remember correctly. So I just told them, and I know a lot of the guys, you know, Steve Holden and J.D. Hill and some of those guys. I met most of them, but it was fun watching them play. I mean, they were exciting. They played at night. They had Sparky on the side of their helmet. I said, man, these dudes are something. You know, who are these guys? And as I said, the reason that I probably didn't come here is because they couldn't go to a Rose Bowl. I wanted to go to a school that could participate in the Rose Bowl. Then it was a Pac-8. And Cal was recruiting me ever since I was in the 10th grade, so I just found my way going there.
Coach, after the Stanford game, kind of that point of the season, I think it's safe to say the offense had kind of underperformed to what they were capable of, and now this is the second consecutive week you've put up 38 points against two talented teams. What has been the key kind of to that improvement?
A couple things. Running the football helps us. Quarterbacks played magnificent last 2 weeks. big plays in the passing game as well as the running game. And Coach Likens and that offensive unit. I mean, you know, the week of preparation is critical. They're mindful of suggestions that sometimes I would have, but it's not on me, it's on them. But I think they've done a nice job of figuring out, you know, how we can get Manny throwing the football better, how we get Nikhil in the offense. Obviously, we're going to get Eno playing well. And it starts with our offensive line. Dave Christian's done a nice job with those guys. They're intertwined. They kind of go in and out of the lineup, all those guys. But we've been clicking on all cylinders. I mean, offense felt very good at halftime, you know, feeling like they could move the ball. And I did too. I was concerned with our defense, to be quite honest. The first half and with the first quarter was like, I don't like what I'm watching right now. A little of it was we had bad eyes. You know, we had dirty eyes. You know, not playing our gap responsibilities. And I knew that was going to happen. I talked about it all week, but it happens because you got a bunch of young guys. I said, we got to fix our eyes, man. We got to play with clean eyes. And I thought the second half, eyes got cleaned up. We started tackling, and then we got a lead, and then it was just a matter of could we hold on to the lead.
Coach, you think big picture now, Pac-12 South is really open these last 2 wins?
We're just trying to win one game at a time. You know, I don't even get involved in all that. I don't even talk about that stuff. I just think the most in the game is as important as the one you play again. And we're going to enjoy this tonight. Our guys, I told them be safe, be careful, be gentlemen. We're going to come in tomorrow. Developmental guys go with the bubble with me. I'll get to coach again tomorrow. I love Sundays, especially when we win. It's fun. And then we'll get into our preparation for UCLA. And that's just me. That's how I function. I don't get into down the road. I just deal with what's in front of me. And UCLA will come in here. They got some talented players. Coach does a good job. He's a good football coach, and I have a lot of respect for him. They've got some talented athletes. They've improved since the beginning of the season, you know. So they're doing what we're doing. He's trying to build a program, and I get it. So we'll enjoy tonight, and then tomorrow we got to worry about the Bruins.
Can you talk about the progression of Merlin Robertson and what you've seen from him?
Didn't play real good early. His dauber was down a little bit, you know, and I had to go over there and rub his neck a little bit. Why, put a smile on your face. It's okay, you know. And then he gets an interception. I said, "You're really doing good now, aren't you?" And he said, "Yeah, Coach, it's better." Yeah, he's a freshman, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I could imagine what he's going to be in the next 2 years. It'll be fun to watch. It'll be fun to watch his defense in the next 2 years. It's going to be fun for me to watch him. We're going to bring a lot of more guys like that. And it'll be fun for me to stand on that sideline and watch him. And he's going to be one of the leaders. He's already one of the leaders, him and Butler. They kind of know it's going to be their defense going forward. But Merlin, you know, he big interception was big, but he's been playing good all year. I mean, he's one of our most productive players on defense, to be quite honest. But the whole defense, I thought second half, all of them, they played tough, they played angry, they played fast. And Danny did a nice job of adjusting him and Coach White and Coach Nua and obviously AP at halftime. And then the second half, to me, was the game. It was, okay, here it is. They ran the ball pretty consistent in the first half. It's a one-score game. How are we going to handle this now? Are we going to slow this run thing down? Because if not, it could have got ugly. And to their credit, to the coach's credit and players' credit, they buckled down and got it stopped. Thank you. All right. You guys have a wonderful Saturday.